The following episode of Dad vs. Daughter was made possible by a contribution from Tasty Minstrel Games. Hello and welcome to another episode of Dad vs. Daughter. I'm Tim the Dad.
I'm Megan the Daughter.
And today we are playing Flip City by Tasty Minstrel Games. This is a press your luck and then you're going to die of unhappiness type of game.
Deck building game now.
It is a deck building game. It's definitely a filler. This plays 2 to 4 players. Actually, it plays 1 to 4 players because there is a solo option, which I'm not going to talk about now because eventually I will do the solo play, so I don't want to ruin that. But each player is going to start with certain cards in their hands. They're going to start with 4 of the residential area cards. They will start with 1 apartment building. They will start with 1 office, 1 factory, 1 hospital, and 1 convenience store. Now, besides the residential areas and the apartment, you'll notice that all those other cards are up here. We're going to be able to purchase those as the game goes on. Now, when we play cards, we are going to basically play until we get 3 unhappiness symbols. When that happens, we've busted and our turn ends and we can't do anything else. So we really don't want 3 of those. They're called unhappies, but if you've watched Rodney Smith and Watch It Played, he calls them frownies. So that's what we call them, and I think that's actually appropriate.
Frowny points.
Yeah,
instead of brownie points.
They are frowny points. So when we play these cards, they're going to either provide us with a frowny or not, and they're going to show what amount of income that they're going to give us if we are able to get that far. So we will be playing these cards down in front, and we will say stop when we want to halt. Now, some cards won't let us. Now, like the residential area, it says down here, it says when residential area is on top, is the top card of your deck, you have to play it. So that could actually force you to bust. So you want to make sure you don't get those. We also have what's called the flip cost over here. And so in this case, this costs 1 coin to flip it. When we flip it, we turn it over, and we get this version now, which is an apartment. It still offers a frowny and still only offers 1 point, but we don't have to play it. We can pay 8 coins, and we can flip it back to the residential and give it to the other person to put in their discard pile. So that's kind of a way of take that to your neighbor. The other cards that we have, the office, I'll show you this. It's going to provide one coin. It's got 4 value flip cost, and it says when shuffling, you may set this card aside, placing it on top of your deck afterwards. So you can always make sure when you cycle your deck around that this is always the top card. The back side of that, when you flip it, is the trade center, which is going to offer 2. Now, if you want to flip it, you're going to gain a frowny, but it says when you flip it, then shuffle your discard pile into your deck. I've never actually done that because I don't want the frowny.
Nope.
We have the factory, which offers 2 points, costs 6 to flip, but it says if your deck is not empty, then you place the bottom card from your deck into your discard pile. So you just take that and you put it in your discard. I really like the flip of this, which is the power plant. It offers a frowny, it gives 1 point, and it gives
1 money.
1 money and 2 points, but you can place an apartment from your discard pile into another person's discard pile. And I have a tendency to do that to Megan quite a bit.
Yep.
And then you'll notice it has this green arrow here. This is a recycle ability that if this card is in your discard pile, you can basically
it on top of your deck.
You can flip this and put the card back on top of your deck. So you could immediately flip that, and then you'll have a factory to play as well. Now, here's another great card that we love to flip, and that's the hospital. It provides a frowny, 1 coin. It costs 4 to flip it. And its ability is that it gains you 1 coin for every frowny that you have this turn.
So that's pretty good if you can't flip it right away.
Right.
But you want to flip.
You want to flip this because the flip side is the church. Get me to the church on time. Church on time. David Bowie.
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 So this, for every church that you have, you're going to have an additional frowny that you can basically accumulate that turn. So instead of busting at 3, you would actually bust at 4.
and 5 and 6.
Yeah. So however many churches that you have. So that's really nice. And then we also have the convenience store, which provides 1 coin, costs 3 to flip it. If you have this, if you played that this turn and you play 18 cards, then you win. The flip side of this
I
is
like this one.
the shopping mall, which gives 2 coins. It gives 1 point, and it says if your deck is not empty, you must play an additional card. Now, the thing with the points, if you ever play 8 points in a single turn, you win. So there's basically 2 win conditions. You either play 18 cards with the convenience store played, or you have 8 points.
Yep. So it's a fairly simple game.
Oh.
It's very quick and fast.
There is one card I forgot.
What card did we not
I did not
You
have.
didn't pick up the Central Park?
No, I didn't have the Central Park in my hand. This says this only provides 2 points. It costs 5 to flip, and it says when you buy, or you may buy 1 additional time during the building phase, because you're limited to only buying 1 per build phase. So this will let you buy another one. Now the flip side of this is really nice too. The station, it's going to provide 3 points, and it says you may flip 1 additional time during the building phase. Your flip costs 1 less this turn. So if you have the station, then your discard pile, you can flip an extra card. Plus, it's only going to cost you. It's going to cost you 1 less to do that. So I really like the station, but I forgot to put that in my deck. So, like I said, your deck is going to have 4 residentials, an apartment, and then 1 of each of those.
Yep.
We are going to shuffle those up, and we will play. All right. The rules say whoever last flipped the table gets to go, and I would think that would be me, because the last game that we played was Machi Koro, and Megan totally destroyed me because she kept taking all my money, and it made me really mad. So I was ready to flip the table, but because I'm a nice father, I'm going to let Megan go first.
Yay. Okay. So I'm going to play the Office, Central Park, Factory, and I had a residential come up, so I have to play that. It's still only 1 frowny. So I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4 money. I'm going to play the convenience store, and I'm going to stop. So that gives me 5 money.
Now, one thing we want to mention is you always know what the top card of your deck is. And we practice what Rodney had said in his video, is that's keep the cards, or keep your deck of cards in your hand like this. So you never see what is below it, but you only see the top card.
You do that, and I'm going to shuffle that.
Yeah, and it says if you ever accidentally show the next card, just reshuffle your deck.
Shuffle it. So I stopped with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 money. So I'm actually going to do what we didn't talk about, and it's develop. So what I'm going to do is you take the flip cost and your initial buying cost, and you combine them, and you can develop it and put it immediately flip side into your discard. So I'm going to take the convenience store because it's 2 and 3, so that'd be 5, and immediately flip it over to the shopping mall.
Yep, and then all those cards go into your discard pile.
Yep.
So now it's my turn. So I have to play residential because it's on top. And I'm going to play my convenience store, my factory. I have to play this residential.
2 frownies.
Yeah. I'm going to stop there, and that gives me 2, 3, 4, 5 money. I'm going to buy that factory
Okay.
because I like the factories.
You do like the factories.
Because I like the power plants.
Yep. Okay, so I have the hospital, so that's 1 frowny. I had a residential come up, so I have to play that. And the next card was a residential, so I busted.
You bust, so Megan can't do anything. Her
Nope.
turn is immediately over. All right, so I will play my Central Park. I have to play the residential. I will play the office. I have to play the residential.
2 frownies.
And
Stop. Stop. That would trigger.
all right. Oh yeah, it would.
So stop.
So because I have a hospital, so I have 2 frownies. So I'm gonna go with 1, 2, 3
You
money.
can buy an office or a convenience store.
I could
Or
buy.
you could flip something in your discard.
You know what? That's a good point. So I'm going to go through my discard pile here, and I have this residential.
of that.
So I'm going to flip that to an apartment side.
You
So
want to get rid of
I
this
don't have to
immediately.
play it then.
Yep. Okay, so take your cards. So residential is first. I have to play that. And the apartment, I'm just going to stop there. So that's 2 money, and I'm going to flip this residential into my apartment. That was in my discard.
Okay. So I will play a hospital, and I will play an apartment, and now I am out of cards. So I have the option of shuffling my discard pile. The problem with that is I could get a residential card on top. So I think I'm going to stop here. And while I have 2, I am going to go and I am going to flip that residential to an apartment building. And now I will have all my cards in my discard, and I will shuffle those up.
Okay. So, let's see. Convenience store for me. Apartment. Ooh, residential came up. And that gives me 3 coins. I'm going to play the office for 4, and I'm going to stop, and I'm going to buy the hospital. It's hard early on to keep going because you know you still have the residentials and you don't want them to come up and cause you to bust.
Right. One thing we didn't point out is that the office is actually an expansion that comes with the game.
Yeah.
There's really no reason not to play it. I mean, your first game, I guess, and we did this, we played without it just to kind of get the feel for the game, but now we play all the games with it. I mean,
it's not that big of a game changer, so might as well just add that card in.
No, all right, so I'm going to play an apartment. I'm going to push my luck and play another apartment.
Ooh.
So I've got 2 frownies. I'm actually going to stop there, and I have 2 money, so I'm going to take a convenience store.
Okay. See, I have Central Park, residential came up, another residential came up. Let's see. You can look in your discard too, as well, so like that's not banned. So there's 2, so I have 1 residential left.
If you remember how many you flipped.
I flipped 2. I know.
I don't think you flipped 2 because
you
start with 4.
Well, I had 2 flipped because I have 2 apartment cents. Put it that way.
Okay. So you flipped 1.
I flipped.
Well,
1.
you start with an apartment.
Yes, I know. So I have 2. That's what I was saying.
You got 1 more that's sneaking around in there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna risk it. So that's 2. I'm just gonna take a convenience store.
Okay. All right. I will play a convenience store, and I will play a factory, and now I have to play this residential area. I've got a hospital on top. I don't know that I want to play that. Megan just dropped her cards.
Oops.
So I think I'm going to stop there, and that's going to give me 4 money. I'm going to flip this convenience store that's in my discard to a shopping mall, and that will be my turn.
Okay. See, I have a shopping mall and a hospital. It's 1 frowny. I have a factory.
Now the deal with the factory is when you play the factory, and I think I forgot that this
I
turn.
always forget it.
Is you take the bottom card of your deck and you put it in your discard pile.
I only have 1 card left in my deck, so that's the apartment. I'm just gonna put that there. So that I only have 1 frowny, but I have 6 money because that frowny on the hospital counts as a money. So I'm not gonna. I'm gonna flip something on my discard then. I'm gonna flip a residential. So I'm gonna do that.
Okay. I will play a hospital, and here is a factory. So I'll take the bottom card, which is an office. That goes to my discard. I'm going to play Central Park, and I have an apartment. I'm going to stop there. That's going to give me 3 money. So I think I will flip the residential in my discard pile.
Okay. Okay, so I have shopping mall, hospital, convenience store, so I'm at 5 points. Let's do Central Park. I have a hospital. Do I want to play it and then have a residential come up?
Frowny, frowny, frowny.
I'm gonna stop. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So just
You got
2,
2, 3, 4.
4.
Oh,
2,
in your
3,
hospital.
4, 5, yeah.
Sorry.
So I'm just gonna take that and develop it.
Okay. All right. I have an apartment. I have to play my residential, and that gives me 2 frownies. I'm going to stop there.
Yep.
And I don't have any more residentials in my discard.
You don't?
Nope,
That's
I've
pretty
flipped
good.
them all. So I will take a convenience store
Okay.
and shuffle these up.
So I have a hospital, an apartment. I have another apartment coming up, so I'm just gonna stop. It's gonna give me 4 points. Or 4 card value coins.
Money.
Money. I'm gonna flip the hospital I have in my discard and make that a church. 'Cause I like the churches.
Churches are good.
Okay, your turn.
All right, so playing a convenience store, playing an apartment. I'll play this factory, and the bottom card is another factory, so that goes to my discard pile. Do I want to chance it? Yeah, I'm going to chance it. I'm going to play this hospital. And that's my second frowny. I've got an apartment on top, so I'm going to stop there.
Yep.
So that's going to give me 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yep.
So with 7, I will buy.
Central Park.
You know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to
Aw.
flip the factory. It only costs 6. I'm going to flip it to my power plant
Yep.
because
You like
bad things are going to be coming.
Yep. So I have an apartment and an office. Oh crap! Residential and another residential. So I busted.
Bust. Yeah. Okay, I will play an apartment. I'll play a shopping mall. I'll play my office. I'll play a Central Park. Oh, there's a residential that I have to pay or play. And my next is an apartment, so I'm going to stop. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what? I'm going to develop this convenience store into another shopping mall.
Okay. So I have a convenience store, a factory, so I have to place the last card, my apartment, into my discard. I'm going to shuffle because I don't have any frownies. So I have the hospital next, and the apartment. I'm just going to stop because I have another apartment. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to take it under Central Park.
Okay. I will play an apartment, and a convenience store, and another apartment, and then I will shuffle.
You going to risk it?
Actually, I'm not,
Gonna
because
say.
that is 2 frownies. That gives me 3 money. I do have a residential in my discard, so I'm going to flip it. Now I will shuffle.
Okay, so I have the apartment, an office, shopping mall. I have to play that residential. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to take this convenience store and develop it.
You like those shopping malls?
They're 1 point and 2 coins, so you can't really go wrong with that. And there's no frownies on them.
No.
So, you
Alright,
know,
so
helps.
I'll play my convenience store and another convenience store. I'll play a hospital. I'll play an office. I'll play a shopping mall.
You got 1 frowny.
I have 1 frowny. I have an apartment building. You know what? I'm going to push it. And I'll
Push
play
it.
another apartment. And I got another apartment. So I got to stop there. So I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and
8, 9.
yeah. So I get 9.
You could develop the hospital and make it a church.
I will. That is an excellent idea.
I should have said it.
I'm gonna do it. No, I would have done it. I'm sure I would have done it.
Sometimes you don't. Sometimes I'm like, why do I help you? So I have a convenience store, a church, an apartment. I had a residential come up, so that's good. So that's 2 frownies. So Central Park, shopping mall. So I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And you can still get
Nope, I'm gonna stop.
another frowny before you.
I'm stopping them
Okay.
because I'm gonna develop or flip my hospital in my discard.
Yeah, gotta like the churches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have an apartment and I have a power plant. Now, power plant says place an apartment from your discard into another player's discard pile. So I look through and I have 1 apartment in my discard. Megan, there you go.
Really?
Have an apartment.
I don't want an apartment.
So now I will play my factory, and I have ticked the bottom card, which is a shopping mall. Goes to my discard. I've got 2 frownies, so I'm going to stop there. So I've got 4 money, and I do have another hospital. I'm going to go ahead and flip that in my discard to a church.
Okay. I have an apartment, Central Park, shopping mall, the church, factory, another apartment, office, shopping mall. So I'm at
You're only at 2 frownies, and you can
yeah,
go to
take
4.
4.
4 will bust you.
5, 6, 7.
Uh-oh.
I'm trying.
2, 3,
Because I need 8 of those.
4, 5, 6, 7. One more and you'll win.
There's a convenience store though.
Oh.
And a frowny.
You had to play that.
But so that's 1.
That's three frownies. One
no,
more.
Stopping because there's an apartment. So I'm not doing it. But
I got lucky.
I didn't get lucky because I should have really wanted to go. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have Central Park, so I could actually.
So you could develop a Central Park or develop a station.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that.
Yeah, that's not bad because that's going to be 3 points.
Yep.
And if you have to, if it's in your discard pile and you run into that, you can recycle it for a point.
Yep.
Uh-oh. So you're getting awful close to winning.
Yep.
All right, so let's see what I can do. 1 apartment, and my next card is apartment. I'm going to go ahead and play it. And my next one is an apartment, so I will stop there.
You have 2 coins.
With 2, I know. I don't think there's anything I can do with 2 in my
You
discard.
can buy a convenience store.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'll buy that convenience store.
So I have an apartment, a convenience store, another apartment, a church, and I have to play that residential, but I'm just going to stop there because the next one would bust me. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't really do anything with 4. I'm going to take a hospital though. So I'll do that.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I already took it.
Yep. All right, so I will play an apartment, which is 1 franny, and I will play Central Park. I will go ahead and shuffle my discard. So now I'll play another apartment, and
Got 2 frownies.
I'm going to stop because I have an apartment on top of my deck.
So you're at
So I'm
2
at
coins.
2 coins. Yeah, I'm still going
Convenience
to take a
store.
convenience store.
Okay. So, apartment, Central Park, convenience store, there's the station.
Yeah.
So that's 5,
Wow.
6, and I'll have to play that residential.
So that gives
That's
you 2
2,
frannies.
and I don't have a hospital up yet. I'm just going to stop. I'm not going to risk it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 money. I'm going to go ahead and develop that convenience store. We'll do that.
I think you have more shopping malls in your town than...
I mean, they're better malls than our mall, probably. So.
All right. So there's an apartment, and I'll play this church. I'm going to play my convenience store. I'll play my other apartment.
So you're at 2 frownies. You can take 4.
Play my shopping mall.
So, okay.
I'll play another shopping mall. I'll play a
That's
power
your
plant.
3rd frowny, so 1 more would bust you.
And do I have an apartment? Yes, I do have an apartment, Megan. Thank you. So 1 more franny will bust me.
Yeah.
Um,
what do you have right now, top? You have a convenience
I have
store?
a convenience
You're
store.
good, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 points. Do you think you have 4 more?
Well, you know what? I don't think I have any more residential areas, so I think I'm good.
You can try it.
So I'm going to play this convenience store.
Okay.
I have an office.
You have a factory, so that bottom
I have
card.
a factory, so I'm going to do that. So the bottom card goes to my discard. I have a church,
Which is good.
which will allow me to have another franny. So I'm going to shuffle my deck, and
That would bust you.
that will bust me if I
So
play
stop.
that. It's an apartment. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
That's it.
12 money. That will allow me to develop a station. So
Yep.
I'm going to do that. And, wow, that's the most cards I've played.
Yeah, that's pretty good. There you go. So I have an office, I have a residential I have to play. So I'll play my factory, so I get rid of this apartment. So there's a shopping mall and another apartment, and I'm going to stop. This hospital came up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to take a Central Park.
Okay. I will play my apartment. Megan is kicking herself over there.
I'm just like, crap, man. I should've done something
Convenience
else.
store. I'll play Central Park and convenience store, and I'm going to shuffle my deck. Okay, I will play my shopping mall. I'll
You're
play
only 1 frowny,
a convenience store.
so you're doing good.
I'll play another shopping mall
4 points.
and office and my power plant.
5, 6. You need 2 more
That's
points.
2 frownies. I don't have any churches, and I have an apartment next, so I'm gonna have to stop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You could flip a hospital.
I could
develop a hospital.
I could flip a hospital, but I think I'm gonna take a Central Park instead.
Okay.
I've got no discard pile yet, so
Yeah.
nothing to flip.
So hospital for me, an apartment. Ooh, there's a church. So that's good. Shopping mall, Central Park, convenience store, and a church. So I'm gonna shuffle some out of cards.
Yeah, because the church abilities do stack, so you might as well. Because right now you're sitting at 2 frownies, and basically your churches get rid of them, so you can take 2 more frownies before you
I have
bust.
2 residentials though still in my deck that I didn't flip when I had the chance. So if those come up, that's gonna hurt. Okay, so there's a convenience store. There's a station, so I'm at
Uh-oh.
6. So there's an apartment. I didn't flip that, so that shouldn't be there. Some of my cards got flipped over, so I'm just gonna put those on the bottom. So residential came up. I have to play that. So how many frownies am I at?
You are at 1, 2, 3, 4.
4. Sorry,
And
one more
will
will
bust you.
So I'm gonna stop. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't have a discard, so I'm gonna develop that hospital.
Okay. All right, I have an apartment. I have a church, a convenience store, a factory, which is going to make me discard. It made me discard my church. Don't like that.
Ooh,
There's
I do.
a station,
Sure.
and there's an apartment. So I'm at 2.
2 frownies, and you can take 4.
You know what? And I know I don't have any more residentials,
Go for
so
it.
I might as well
Might as well.
shuffle up, because you're not committed. The only thing that would really hose you is if you had a residential,
Yeah.
and I don't. So.
I do. I have 2.
All right, so I stopped. I got Central Park, so I will play that. So that's going to give me 3. So I'm at 5 points. I'll play my office, and that will. Actually, I can play that. I can play my apartment because
Yeah.
I have the church down,
One more with trigger.
and I'll play my shopping mall.
So it's 6 points.
I have another shopping mall.
7. Do you have 1 more point?
That I don't know. I'll play convenience store,
Yep.
and I have to stop.
Oh.
Unfortunately, because I have the power plant, which would have
Yes.
given me 2 points.
Oh, that's so good for me.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I will develop
Oh
this
my
Central
gosh.
Park into a station,
Thought you had
and
me
that is
for
my
a
turn.
second.
Oh, I almost did.
Oh, and that makes me happy that you didn't.
Whoops.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Bump the camera there.
Okay. So I have an apartment. I have a convenience store. Oh crap! I have residential. That's 2 frownies. I'm just gonna stop. So that's 2, 3. That's 3 points. Oh, I have a discard. Do I have a residential? Yeah, hi, I do have a residential on my discard. Okay, I'm flipping that. So that's good.
Okay.
Woohoo.
So I will play my power plant, and Megan,
Yes.
have an apartment.
Okay. Thanks.
You have so many apartments.
You're just giving them away now.
You're like Lucy from the Charlie Brown Christmas special, you know. What she really wanted for Christmas was real estate.
Yeah.
So, you know. Okay, so getting back to me, I will play my Central Park. I will play my convenience store. I have another convenience store. Oh, I definitely will play the church. And that is the last of my my hand. So let me shuffle my discard pile up here. And if you could see me, I'm actually shuffling behind my back so I don't see the top card that I stop on.
If you could see me.
If you could see me now. All right, so I have a factory. I will play that, and that's going to make me, oh, bummer, get rid of my station. I'll play my office. I'll play my shopping mall. I'll play my church.
You're at 5 points.
I'll play my Central Park.
6, 7.
And how many frownies do I have?
You
I
have
have
1 frowny.
I have 1. So I can play this apartment, which gives me 2 frownies. I'll play my convenience store. And I'll play my station.
So you're at
So
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10. That triggers the end of the game and what we like to call the trophy presentation. Well, that was close because you were really probably a turn or maybe 2 turns away, especially once you remembered to get your residential areas flipped. You look at your cards.
I probably could have done it next turn.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was luck. The power plant is great because that that basically thins my deck, gets those crap cards, the apartments out of there. I've never actually paid to flip an apartment to basically flip it over to residential and get it to Megan because I get the power plants and I do it that way and then use my money for something else.
And my strategy always seems to be go for the convenience stores because that gives you a money and a point. So
we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. So let's get to what we think.
So I'll just continue since I was interluding into the next segment. So I really, really like this game. When we first started, I was like, this just really isn't it for me. It's kind of okay, or just getting some cards. And that was like when we first started our first game. And then as we got to the end of it and we were starting to actually like play more cards and you could actually get points and all, I'm like, oh, okay, now like this is getting enjoyable.
Well, it's because, deck builders typically start slow. And this game suffers from that. It does start slow because you have so many residential areas.
But you can't do anything. You're limited. So until you start getting those out, which I should have done sooner, and I totally forgot I had them in my hand, you can easily do what you did and you score more points quicker and win.
Yeah. My thoughts on the game are almost identical to Megan. I thought the game, when we first started playing, I'm like, oh man, this seems like it's just dragging.
Yeah.
But that was really only a few turns. So you get through that, and once you start getting your deck humming and you get all these other cards in there, you get them flipped to the other sides to start using those good abilities like the power plant.
Central Park's pretty good too.
Well, the church
hospital,
the church helps because that allows you to keep playing longer. Really love that. The artwork on the cards, it's nice. It's kind of quaint, I think. I look at this church, and that looks like something right out of 17th century New England. Is kind of what I think is the old Dutch church in Washington Irving's The Headless Horseman, Legend of Sleepy Hollow. I don't know. It reminds me of watching the Disney video at Halloween every year.
That, yeah.
But I think that's kind of neat.
I like the shopping mall because it has their little mascot who we got in plushy form, and I named him Glitter after the glitter incident in Scoville. So go check that out if you don't know what the heck I'm talking about. And go to our Facebook because I have pictures of me and Glitter. So I'm kind of shoving you in 2 different directions here.
Yeah, I think his real name is Dargon, but
no, he's Glitter.
He's glittered for
Glitter.
you. But no, I like the game. It's one of those. It's really kind of easy.
Yeah.
It's a light game. It's a little bit heavier than most of the light games that we've featured, but it's still a good game. I know this kind of got panned a lot. Panda. Panda lot. Pandalot. It's like Panda Express.
I was thinking Camelot.
But I know a lot of people in the reviewing community, they didn't like this or they thought it was a disappointment. Not really sure what they were looking for, what they really didn't like about it. But it's not a great game, but it's a good game.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with being a really good game. This is going to be another one that I'll have my game group at lunch try out.
I think they would like it,
and see what they think. But I like it.
I like it.
It's easy. It's small. Doesn't take up a lot of shelf space. It's cheap. I do know that it's very popular because Tasty Minstrel had said earlier this year that they actually sold out of their entire first print run.
So that's good.
Yeah. So if you do find this and you've watched our video and you think this is something for you, then if you see it out there in the wild, then definitely grab it.
In the wild.
In the wild,
There you go.
So that'll about wrap it up,
Yeah.
and we will catch you guys next time.
Bye. Like and follow us on Facebook to stay current on our show schedule, sneak peeks at future shows, and to interact with us.